Chismos, if you guys thought that this whole P. Diddy circus was over, well, guess what? It's just begun because now P. Diddy's own mom has entered the chat and you guys gotta see what she had to say. Now, this woman sure had a lot to say, so I'm gonna go ahead and read this as quick as possible, but if you guys wanna fast forward through this, you can just press and hold the top of this screen. I come to you today as a mother that is devastated and profoundly saddened by allegations made against my son, Sean Combs. It is heartbreaking to see my son judged not for the truth, but for the narrative created out of lies. To bear witness what seems to be like a public lynching of my son before he has had the opportunity to prove his innocence is a pain too unbearable to put into words. Like every human being, my son deserves to have his day in court, to finally share his side and prove his innocence. Okay, good luck with that. I am not here to portray my son as perfect because he is not. He has made mistakes in the past, as we all have. My son may not have been entirely truthful about certain things, such as denying he has ever gotten violent with an ex-girlfriend when the hotel surveillance showed otherwise, aka he got caught. But listen, it gets worse. Sometimes the truth and a lie become so closely intertwined that it becomes terrifying to admit one part of the story, especially when that truth is outside the norm or is too complicated to be believed. This is why I believe my son's civil legal team opted to settle the ex-girlfriend's lawsuit instead of contesting it until the end, resulting in a ricochet effect as the federal government used this decision against my son by interpreting it as an admission of guilt. Okay. It is important to recognize that none of us, regardless of our status, are immune to fear or mistakes. Not being entirely straightforward about one issue does not mean my son is guilty of the repulsive allegations that grave charges leveled against him. Many individuals who were wrongfully convicted and later exonerated had their freedom taken from them not because they were guilty of the crimes that they were accused of, but because they didn't fit the image of what the society considered to be a good person. History has showed us how individuals can be wrongfully convicted due to their past actions or mistakes. Okay. Now, there's a lot more here. You guys can go ahead and pause to read because I'm not going to read all of this. But basically, she's saying that it's so terrible that everybody has been making jokes of her son's life while his life is crumbling before her eyes and asking him not to be judged and give him his day in court. Now, I get it. You're his mom, but at some point, you have to look at all these things and be like, oh, maybe I'm the one that's wrong. Maybe he is guilty. Maybe he is a monster. And that is what it is. I mean, you could still love your son and still recognize that he's not a good person. And that's the real reason why people don't like him, not because they think he did something, but because the proof is in the pudding. Anyways, guys, I'm very curious to know what you guys thought about that statement that she put out, and I'm wondering if maybe he asked her to put it out for maybe, I don't know, sympathy? Regardless, let me know what you guys think about this down below in the comments, and don't forget to like and follow for more gossip, cheeseman, and all things tea.